Yo, what's up? Ooh, this is a good one. And it's going to be very helpful to you guys. And that is what drinks you should not order on the first date. But before I get into the topic, my name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. Thank you for stopping by. This channel is 100% dedicated to relationship advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, this might be a little controversial, but I don't care. This has been my experience. What drinks you should not order on your first date. And I'm talking about order for yourself. Before I tell you what drinks not to order, what is most important here, guys, is frame. Masculine frame. And I think you know where I'm going with this. You need to have a masculine frame when you go out on these dates with these women, because that will determine her sexual desire for you. It's going to either increase when she meets you or it's going to decrease. And you need to increase it when she meets you, and you need her to feel like, oh, he's the man. I can rely on him. I can feel protected with him. I can feel safe with him, right? And quick side note, man, I see a lot of dudes, and this is just my opinion. I see a lot of dudes wearing baseball caps, hats, baseball caps on dates when they're out having dinner. And some of these places are kind of nice places, like a cocktail lounge. And guys, you need to stop wearing that. That is not helping your masculine frame. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. But I'm just in general not a fan of the baseball cap thing. I find it's like a little boy. And if I had to guess, very few women are impressed with that either. Okay, so drinks. All right, I made a bunch of notes here for you guys. So I personally struggle with this one because of my stomach. I have some sensitivities to some alcohol, and I have to force myself around those sensitivities when I'm on a date because certain alcohol just does not sit that well with me. So I will say this, and I don't care what you guys think because I've been on hundreds of dates and I'm very good at it, and I date very attractive women, and I end up sleeping with them within 1 to 3 dates almost always. So part of the reason is all these little things, and you're going to learn this from my channel and these tips that I'm sharing. All right. So the first thing not to order is white wine. White wine is mostly for women. Okay. I like white wine, but I'm only going to drink white wine when I'm comfortable with her after a while and she knows I have a sensitivity to red wine, right? So, but I'm talking the initial first few dates. You want to maintain that masculine frame, okay? So avoid ordering white wine. You want to, if you're going to order wine, you order the red wine. And there's psychological study, or there's studies that have been done on this and what women think of a man when they just see a glass. Like all they see is the actual alcohol. They go, what type of guy is that? Imagine that. So these women in these studies, and you can research this, where they just see they don't see a picture of a guy or anything. They just see what the alcohol is. And the study asked them, what kind of guy is that? Right? So subconsciously, that's what they're thinking. Like there's things going on subconsciously when they see a guy with a certain drink. So avoid the white wine. Also, avoid Prosecco, the bubbly stuff, the champagne, Prosecco. Don't do it, again, on their first few dates, because what she's going to think, oh, he's very effeminate, and maybe he's even gay. All right? Don't order beer unless you both are into pubs. That's totally different. But it's been my experience, very few women that I go out on dates with are into pubs for the first few dates, that is. So avoid ordering the beer, because beer What does it make you think of? It makes you think of frat parties. It makes you think of, sports games. Yes, it can be a manly thing, but women in the first few dates, they're looking for refinement initially. They want to know, can this guy also, is this guy refined? Like, can he let his hair down and put his hair up, to use that analogy? So, can you wear a suit and go casual and wear like a tracksuit like this, right? But your first few dates, you want to just be very aware of not giving off the wrong message, or it's not the right timing for it. So avoid the beer as well. So, what do I order on the first date, or the first couple of dates? I go big. Oh, don't order any cocktails, like a there is an exception, the martini. So what I order on these first few dates is I'll order an old fashioned. That's a perfect drink, man. Whether it's with bourbon or mezcal, doesn't matter. Why the old fashioned? Because it is a gentleman's drink, and that drink, um, for older guys, is absolutely perfect because it means you're embracing that traditional aspects of being a man. And one thing though, another thing I should mention is, be careful of ordering something neat, like just straight bourbon straight or whiskey straight. Women don't like a guy that drinks the heavy stuff in general. That scares them. And a lot of men, after quite a few drinks like whiskey or scotch, it changes them. When they start to get tipsy, they get more aggressive, they might get violent. It freaks women out. So, guys, be very, very careful of ordering neat drinks in your first few dates. So, the old fashioned is more like a cocktail, right? It's like a fusion of the two. So, I order the old fashioned with or without ice, doesn't matter. And I might order a martini, but I don't like olives, so but you just have to be careful with the martinis, because the glass, it's kind of effeminate glass, dainty little glass, and maybe their martini is like a chocolate martini and it's got some chocolate or some darker colors in it or whatever. Anyways, so what I typically order is old fashioned or red wine. And the reality is, guys, and it kills me because old fashions and red wine do not sit well with my stomach. And I usually can only order a couple of those. Um, the exception is if she's ordering some kind of cocktail and she says, "Do you want to try it?" Because they always do this. They say, "Oh, do you want to try it?" So I try the drink, and she might say, "Well, why don't you get one?" Then I'll get one, because she's looking for sameness, right? But in general, I'll start off with my first drink, or maybe I'm waiting for her and she comes in and she sees the drink that I have, and I have an old fashioned or I have a red wine. By the way, guys, this is something else. You never really know if she drinks or not. Like, sometimes it comes up in conversations before the first date that, "Oh, do you drink?" So more times than not, I only discover on the fly, and she shows up. I still will have my drink. I saw an episode of 90 Day Fiance. Oh man, well, the girl from Ukraine, um, blonde girl, blue eyes. Anyways, can't recall her name. So she doesn't drink. I remember seeing one scene that she was on a date with this dude, and he ordered a drink, and then she said that she didn't like the fact he drinks, and she felt uncomfortable. Um, my opinion, I would have probably ended the date right there, because I'm not going to change for someone like that just to make them feel comfortable. This reminds me of dating vegans. If I sat down and I ordered a meal, right, and somebody said they were vegan and they said it's making them feel uncomfortable, well, that's their fucking problem, not my problem. So now I'm uncomfortable because you're uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So That's never happened to me, guys, by the way, where somebody's vegan and I order something. However, I am conscientious whenever they've said they're vegan, and I'm not going to get a medium rare steak in front of them. But at the end of the day, I don't date vegans because I'm a huge carnivore eater. So with the drinks, if she doesn't drink and she doesn't like somebody who drinks, then too bad, so sad. The woman that I'm dating right now doesn't drink, and I remember one time she said, "Oh, that's like your third drink." And I said, "Yeah, it's delicious." And I just blew it off. And this women need to know that you're going to hold your ground. You're going to continue to do it within reason. Like you're not going to get drunk, but you know what I mean? So that's how you handle what should you not drink on your first date. Avoid the girly drinks, basically. Go for basically an old fashioned or red wine. Let me know what you think in the comments about this. What has been your experiences? I want to hear about it. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.